Good morning. I'm Paul Dixon. I'm your instructor for Management Science 1206. And in my lap here, this is Dora. Dora's my dog. And um, working from home, you're going to be seeing my family, I guess, along the way. My family is primarily my pets and my wife. My children are grown up and moved away. That I grew up in Montreal, and my parents moved to Nova Scotia as I started university. I went to University of New Brunswick to do a Bachelor of Arts in statistics. It's unusual to do a BA in a mathematical subject, and stats was actually a new major at the University of New Brunswick. And then I went on to do a Master of Mathematics, which again is an unusual degree. This is at the University of Waterloo, again in statistics, but discovered a department in engineering called Management Science, which was a new department, or relatively new at the time. And that's where I completed my PhD before I came to St. Mary's to join the business school. That you'll note that I'm in the business school, but my degrees aren't in business. I've taken a course in economics and I took a course in organizational behavior, but for the most part, my formal education is not what you'd be getting within the business program. That uh, my areas that I was teaching were the quantitative methods courses for business students, statistics, of course, and operations management, which was the focus of my PhD, improving businesses, improving their business processes, new product development, quality management, quite a range of things. And that subject area actually has served me well in my career since. Although I started off as a very successful researcher, I was an awful teacher. I've improved over time. I've listened to my students and they've taught me well. But shortly into my career, I got drafted into administration, first as a department chair, then I became an associate dean to manage the undergraduate business program, and then became dean of the business school. And later became the associate vice president of enrollment. A couple of breaks along the way, but for the most part, I've been in administration for 25 years or thereabouts. All along the way, though, I was always teaching at least one course, almost always teaching the Quantitative Methods 1 course. And the last 3 years, though, I've been back to teaching full time. In administration, I learned a lot about managing people. A lot of my success with that actually has come, and to some extent in teaching, came from my dogs and learning obedience training. And you should look into it because everything that's important in getting a dog to be your partner is what you also need to do to get your staff to be your partners, to be your students to be your partners. And that's very much my philosophy in terms of teaching. If you want more information, contact me. I'm rereading How to Treat Dora, and it's so much of it is coming back to me again. Dora's just a pup; she's only a year old. In the administration roles, my focus was very much on change throughout. It was introducing new programs, new processes, the way we did things differently. 30 years ago, we introduced a major in entrepreneurship and then a major in global business management. That we introduced a master finance program, which was very innovative at its time and probably about the first in North America. We introduced a hybrid master's program in accounting for professionals that were pursuing their management accounting designation that was almost all online and limited amount of face-to-face. That was 20 years ago when the internet was still very, very new. That I also had several programs that I tried to introduce that were total failures, but that's what you learn when you're trying to be innovative, entrepreneurial, is that frequently you'll fail, you learn from the failures, and you move on, and uh, you're more successful. And then as in the enrollment management area, I was responsible for all the student recruitment, student admissions, registration. We introduced the banner system that you use. We introduced an awful lot of technology to improve the student experience. And we got a lot of feedback from students, surveys and that sort of thing that showed that we did really change things significantly. We did some really interesting, innovative things in recruitment and marketing. It was all about experimentation, change, and trying to be more sensitive to what students know or understand. When I came back to teaching full-time 3 years ago, I was a little disappointed that a lot of our curriculum didn't really reflect what I was seeing, both when I was as a dean and interacting with the business community, and when I was the associate VP of enrollment. And the technology, the way we use data in particularly disturbed me. That we were teaching statistics, but we were not teaching what real data analysis was all about. And so that's what Management Science 1206 has become. I think it's something you need to know at the very start of your degree, not at the end of your degree. And you'll give me your feedback on whether or not the change was one of my successes or one of my failures. But I look forward to meeting you, at least virtually, over the term. And I hope you enjoy the ride.